if that unclear communication were made intentionally to mislead. I gave the example, if you're a yoga person and you hire someone to work as a spokesperson for your line, your brand, your service, and that person presents to you as if they are like 100% into sober living, and so forth. You, a person who takes their business, their line, their reputation seriously, you might be offended by the fact that the person who you hired as a spokesperson was drinking and smoking, especially given that you have a health brand, right? However, you can't really be that mad because it's like,
pulled up
is
here.
the person supposed to give up
guys.
their life to support your brand and your message? And if a person really thinks yes to that, like that's a lot of ego.
Oh my God. There we go.
And that's a lot of, that's just a really lofty expectation to have of another person. I don't drink, so you don't drink. This is not a husband and wife situation or circumstance. This is a consumer.
The DCFS, bro.
I'm sorry, a
Court
service
ordered,
provider
I'm
or
assuming.
business owner spokesperson relationship. So that would be like telling
Yeah, she's live right now.
Nike telling Drake, you can't drink or smoke ever because you are a spokesperson for our athletic apparel. Now, with that being said, the reason this is controversial or in my scope of let's discuss this is because there have been a handful of influencers who have been taken to third world countries.
What?
Most of them, a lot of them are getting contacted through their socials with these offers. And it's people with a lot of followers. Now, first of all, let's talk about fame. In order to get targeted for a fame trap, you can
Fame
either
trap?
really be famous
The fuck?
or you can live under the umbrella of perceived fame. If you live under the umbrella of perceived fame, you have a lot of followers. You could have paid for them. You could have just raised them organically from a different niche and then switched it over to nothing but you, etc. and so forth.
Followers?
With that being said, if you've created that aura of fame, people with no money, people with no opportunity, they're going to see that in their space of pain or rage or sometimes even calm and be like, yo, bro, F you. Why do you have a Lamborghini? Why do you have a Maserati? Why do you have a 150-foot yacht? Why are you always surrounded by beautiful women? And then these resentments form. So a lot of people... there used to be something that was commonly referenced as the kidnap list. And the kidnap list was basically list of the United States' most wealthy and protected individuals with kind of like maps that would lead you to whom you could kidnap to incentivize this person to pay a large ransom. My ex got in trouble once, was in a holding cell with some guys that told him, call your mom right now and tell her to put $10,000 on your books or we're going to chop off your thumb. And that's real. So
good thing it wasn't his dick.
I have firsthand witnessed a lot of these types of extortive situations and hostage situations, and influencer marketing, especially 10 years ago when it first became a thing, they were getting hit like nobody's business with these claims. Xavier, what are you doing?
Getting ready. For what?
Please do not do anything weird in the bathroom.
Okay.
Like what, drugs?
Xavier? What all do you mean?
I'm just getting ready, that's it.
Ready for what?
As I was saying, hold on, I need to grab my charger.
For the cheese.
So, anyways, as I was saying, there's a whole lot of these extortive, hostage-like setups. Some of them are realer than others. Some of them are all fake. Some of them are kind of fake, kind of real.
I actually have toilet paper on the bed.
It's a tremendous drain to find out what's what and who's who. a drain financially, a drain. It's also a drain to know who's who and leave them with people who don't know who they're fucking with.
Oh.
And I mean that in the nicest way possible. So, with that being said, influencer marketing is a huge opening for scamming. It's a huge opening for creating a sense of trust and creating and building a community that is cult-like. It is so easy to build a cult on the internet, on any social media platform. It's just so easy. It's never been easier. First of all you need to form a cult-like following is to
Thank you, Eggs, for the silver star.
brainwash people into giving you their loyalty. And this is
she's gonna do a
discussed
masterclass
heavily
on
in a lot of books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, things of that nature. But basically, when you're doing things like this, when you're behaving in this way, when you've created this cult-like following that you can leverage with, you are in the position traditionally to either be oppressed into being the person who is expected to show up, or you act however you want to act and, embarrass the brand or make, habits and public appearances and statements that are not in line with the brand's mission statement and goals, etc., and so forth. Now, what has been done, and these are the top 3 influencer marketing scams of the decade. I might give you 5. Number 1, paying for followers and then incentivizing businesses to hire you as a spokesperson based on the perceived fame that you do not really have. Number 2, claiming that you have organic reach and organic growth.
She buys followers.
When in actuality, the only reach and growth that you have is to your specific niche, and you don't even know that, right? So, for instance, when I was selling sexy content, I had tremendous growth, tremendous reach, all organic. To about 27,000 followers, I had nothing but organic. After I enrolled in a Hootsuite or like basically a social media manager, where you you set a $60 budget, and that's what it is. It can't go over that. And then they circulate your art or photo shoots or videography or whatever it is that you've posted to a guaranteed number of people per the budget. So if you made the budget $60 per post, you might get 6,000, views on that post. Whereas if you made no budget, you just posted organically, you might get 6 views. Leveraging this reach is a scam in itself, because for me, I grew a lot of genuine contacts, and I used my Facebook number, 15,000,
it's Easter.
5,000 friends with 10,000
so
on a follower page. I unfriended them all of them, and they were back within 3 months. That's because I worked in VIP promotions, throwing parties for, I would say, 100 people a week on average in about 3 days. When I say 100 people, I mean we were 100 of like 15,000 going out in the downtown Chicago area on any given night.
Oh, look,
Every person I met,
I'm gonna stop
I
recording on my
hand-delivered
phone.
my Instagram page to. On top of that, I was working in healthcare at Northwestern Hospital for 6 years, seeing 20 to 50 patients a day every single day for 6 years. All of those people were connected to me on social, or are connected to me on social. Besides VIP promotions and the healthcare field, I was also working as a spokesmodel at McCormick Place, promotional model at McCormick Place, the Stevenson, other random areas, doing bar crawls. If you do a bar crawl, how many people do you think that you've met? 200? Maybe more, maybe 500? So I was really connecting with people face to face to market my brand. Oh, and then on top of that, I was selling sexy content. And I had just under 20,000 followers across all platforms specific to that niche. So we're talking about real connections that I've made face to face that allowed me to grow a following. And you know how long it took me to make that CRM? And they were mostly stored in Twitter and Instagram. It took me about 5 years, 6 years to get to about 60 something thousand, 67,000, 68,000. And then they shut it down and stole it from me and
Oh,
disassembled it. And I have
The
like 6
nefarious
other
way.
Instagrams since then. I've not been able to get back to 70. I think I've been at the highest is like 18,000, 19,000. And that was right after the reality show. And that account got stolen from me and frozen as well. So, and then I made it another account, HLG Forever. I think that one's at around 9,000. And then there's another one called What's New to You is Old to Me. I think that one's around 8,000. And then there's another one. So I've been publicly posting about what I'm talking about now and my own personal life. I call it a personal blog because sometimes people try to kill me. I know, it's fucking crazy, right?
No, they don't.
And when
Wait.
I call law enforcement,
Who
they
tried
don't
to kill her?
respond typically. And if they do respond, I've been met with a very unfair response, historically. And this is just over the last 6 years. Prior to that, I didn't have any issues with law enforcement. So I really don't know, what's causing that or what's been going on, but I can tell you that growing a following and working as an influencer is not just having good content and, sitting back and watching it grow. There may be AI automation in place to do so, but that's not traditionally how it works. Now, if you really want to get AI into it, I
don't know. Are we drinking wine? Ew, she drinks so weird.
You can build AI OnlyFans influencers and performers strictly with AI.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a huge market for that.
6-7 months, right? You could do shoddy work in about half that time, but you could literally take 6 or 7 months to do the field research that it takes to be an accurate, reliable person in building these AI models.
Then do it.
And by models, I mean...
Then do
yes,
it, Heather.
They would be men
There
and
should be
women
no
who would be
excuse on why you're
attractive
poor
looking,
or
but they would
whatever,
be
or
purely
can't make ends
AI
meet.
based off of a human figure, but actually avatars. And they could do all of the same things that these OnlyFans people do, better, cheaper, with no cost restrictions, no overhead, and listen to this, here's the best part. No effect on the reputation of your business because an avatar model is not drinking Tito's, sitting in her inflatable mattress after being raped, robbed, beaten, and abused for 10 years and yelling out for help, but everyone just ignores her. The AI avatar
What's the overhead
has
operating
been
costs
neatly
of just,
tucked into
like,
the internet. Right?
Finger banging yourself on
Protected and
camera, like on a
defended
cell
from any
phone.
and
I
all
can't
risk.
imagine it being that high.
She's not going to drink alcohol. She's not going to smoke weed. She's not going to engage in risky behaviors unless you ask her to. Right? So the AI model is the way to go. If you're a business person, if you're a new business person, if you're still, dare I say it, a prehistoric business person who's brick and mortar only with no online presence at all whatsoever, I'm not knocking those. Don't get me wrong. I'm most certainly not knocking it. If you are a successful brick and mortar business owner in 2026, more power to you, bro. For real. Because it's difficult to be a brick and mortar business in 2026 with no online presence and still be in the game. So that's kind of where my mind is at. When they ask me, oh, Heather, do you want to go and be on OnlyFans? Do you want to, how about this? We make your story the comeback kid. I'm number one, yes. Down for the comeback kid. I don't have any desire to be the comeback kid OnlyFans. To be the comeback kid mini vids.
Okay.
Comeback kid healthcare consulting, for sure. More than qualified. Comeback kid best mother of the year award, absolutely. Absolutely. Comeback kid in the gym finally kills it and goes to the NPC and wins. Sign me up. But comeback kid for a woman who felt so oppressed
Heather, the
by
comeback kid,
society
bro.
and lack of opportunity, a white educated mother with no criminal background, prevented from getting a job for years despite thousands of resumes. Thousands. And my resume is great. It's an excellent resume. I have no desire to be the comeback kid who has no choice but to be human sex trafficked. I have no desire to be the comeback kid who is forced to start selling pictures of her asshole on OnlyFans because she can't find any other work. I
Is this
have no
because
desire
she's doing
to be
that?
that comeback kid.
She must be doing that, right? Why is she so upset?
If you watch my content, you know how I feel. You already know how I feel. Does every person in the world want to be sexy? Of course. Who wants to be an ugly fucking piece of shit? There's no one that wants that. Everyone wants to look good, feel good, be good, right? So, yeah. I want to look sexy. I want to feel confident. I want to have, security within myself about how I physically appear to people. I'm aware of perception. I'm aware of the way that we look and how it causes people around us to perceive us, or how it causes us to be perceived by people, places, and things.
Then why are we drinking on stream?
How it causes people to just discuss our reputation, and who we are, and their expectations of us. There are so many residual
Come
effects
back to reality, kid. That's a
that
good
come
one.
along with not caring about how you look. And there are also really positive ones that come along with giving a fuck, right? So I do care, but I don't want to be sold out for sex. And I don't think that in 2026, and this is where my entire campaigning began in 2019, Heather Gillespie, when I was unlawfully thrown out of my home and left in the street to die, literally, and sexually assaulted, and a whole bunch of other stuff went on. When all of that happened, I created this campaign, Operation Denude. Not D-nude, Denude, D-E-N-U-D-E. I mean,
yeah, denude.
If we're really getting to it, and I don't speak to the people in the comments because I don't know where my friends are at, but the people in the comments are most definitely oppositional. They've been sharing the same abrasive, offensive commentary for the last 6 to 10 years. So I don't even read it anymore. I soft focus on my eyes, and I have no idea what the fuck is going on. But if you're my friend and you're here for this conversation, then, I really think that's the way it's going to go. We created over the last 10 years an environment where people were paid thousands of dollars to do things like urinate in their underwear and send them to someone across the world. Exercise in their underwear for 3 days, not change them, and then sell them to someone for $200. Show their what
Whose choices were that,
for
though?
$25 on the internet on a live streaming camera. And this is the world that we created.
No, you.
We created this world.
You, not
right?
we. Don't put we into this.
So there once upon a time was a part of the world that none of us needed to even know existed.
Egg.
None of us.
Easter egg.
Then they brought that part of the world to the internet. And our youth, faced with money or no money, for the most part, chose not to do pornography, OnlyFans, drug deals, etc., and so forth.
It's Easter, Gillespie. Where are your kids?
Everything evolved.
What are we doing here?
As it began to be made certain that these girls were being incentivized financially, and by big financial incentives, vacations, bags, drugs, parties, celebrities, status, reputation, houses, cars, etc.
Also, ecstasy. She did ecstasy plug in one of her stories.
Everything. So you
at the
can't
casino.
hire an influencer today who's about the Bible and being a strong Christian, and then be mad at them because next year they're having a glass of Tito's with strawberry lemonade in their living room while they get some work done.
What's the work get done? Well, no one would know if we didn't broadcast this. No one cares.
Yesterday, we are not who we were a year ago. If you get a big open wound on your arm, and I see you right as you get that big open wound, and you have a big, huge, bloody gash, when I see you next year, are you going to have that same big open wound? You better not. Shit, if you do, you probably have gangrene.
She's back, you guys.
What are you doing?
Just getting ready.
So, right now, what am I doing? I just got done driving for the day, doing deliveries.
Oh.
And now I'm
should put
on
getting
Fiverr,
ready on the list.
and I'm looking for someone to hire
Oh?
to make a documentary about what I've been through over the last 10 years since I
I'll do that
ended
for
my
free.
career in healthcare at Northwestern.
Well, I'll tell the truth. They won't like it.
Accepted a career as an office manager for an ophthalmology practice, and accepted a bottle service job on the weekends, and got pulled headfirst,
She wants it.
no questions asked, into the third shift vamp life.
I've actually been thinking about overview videos on Heather James and
of the
Brooke,
corruption
actually.
that I
So it
endured
fits. It's good.
along the way. From being human sex trafficked to being mentally and physically and financially exhausted and abused.
When they ask
to
me about these people, I say, go watch the video.
And by law enforcement, I want to be clear,
rundown.
this was not a guy in a uniform. This was a man in a detective
my dad,
suit
the rundown.
with caravan of 5 cars, 2 Suburbans, and 3 Lincoln Town Car looking cars, all limo tinted. Pulled me out of the car, brought me to an unmarked black hole site, interrogated me for close to 14 hours, and then told me that if I did not comply with his every demand, he would be at my house with the DCFS to steal my children and take them into custody.
They put
I was
Heather
a
in a
woman
black
with
hole,
nothing,
you guys.
only
in
experience
space.
in healthcare. Nothing, no money in the bank, no businesses started, nothing. Just my 3 kids and me living in a 2-bedroom basement apartment working 2 jobs. No criminal record. And that's how my,
Dylan's relatives
that's how
place.
the documentary I'm trying to write starts. And I even wrote this entire thing about it. It's like 3 pages long, and it starts with, there are 3 main groups of people that you can find in the nightlife on any given evening.
The lurkers.
And I start discussing all of the major demographics and all of this stuff. The point of the matter is, I've been trying to publish this as a book and a movie for the last close to 6 years.
No one's
But there
biting.
are persons there with guilty consciences who don't think that I would write their legal names out of the storyline, or probably assume that members of law enforcement or renegade armies have enough information to conclude who they are based on my recollection of events. So I'm being, every time I type it up,
Gracie,
every
I
time
thank you for the
I
silver
know how
star.
to make content. I was a sexy content seller for 6 years. I know how to make content. I know how to edit. They don't allow me to, and they haven't allowed me free range of my phone since 2019.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
So, with that being said, who you are today is not who you will be tomorrow, nor is it who you were last year. For the most part, people's basic morals and values remain solid if they're instilled and ingrained. People are susceptible to being conditioned, to being groomed, to being brainwashed. If there is someone who's psychologically stronger or more deviant than someone else, it is a very plausible, very realistic outcome that person could be abused. That's what happened. So, I don't think that influencer marketing is going to be a valid career path in the future. I think it's going to continue to be a scam thing. And I think that it's just going to be, and this is just my forecasting, I think that it's going to be kind of like a come at your own risk type of, commission incentive. Like, look, if you promote my product, that's on you. Maybe more promo codes, maybe like I won't stop you from promoting my product or service, but I also won't endorse you or hire you to do so type of thing.
No, this isn't going to happen.
Because it's just way too easy to create an AI agent to do every little thing that you want them to do without batting an eyelash. And that's both in real life as well as on the internet in 2026.
She must have read an article or something.
And I've been speaking on this with forecasting and foreshadowing since 2018, if you go back to my original videos. And that goes back to the Coco Chanel YSL main account. I've been discussing these things openly. When I started getting extorted by that officer, I started looking at life in a very different way. I started looking at life as an entrepreneur. How can I make enough money to protect my family and I? And unfortunately, I relied heavily on my husband at the time, Dylan, who I trusted to come home and protect us. And that unfortunately didn't happen. I was separated from my children in 2019. They had to go live with their father. I got thrown out of my home unlawfully. And when I was on my way to get a gun license, they took me to the psych ward so that I would not be able to qualify for a gun. 3 months after that took place, I was raped by force.
Heather Gillespie doesn't need a gun.
Do you think I would have been raped by force if I was carrying a pistol?
I don't know. Oh, I shouldn't pause it.
Probably not.
Dylan Y12173.
Anyways. So now I'm on Fiverr, and I just wanted to jump on here and speak about that. I know a lot of people have been asking me, will I influence for them? Will I do this? People are being misled all the fucking time about me. All the time. Let me tell you this. In the last month, In the last 3 months, I have been harassed, threatened, my visits with my son interrupted, told that the court system is shut down and that there are no judges, denied my right to speak with my other children, my oldest child, Vivi, followed,
I said fiber
accused,
for a second.
prevented from working,
Like
and
Raisin
robbed.
Bran. I'm getting my fiber intake, you guys.
Numerous times. And I've reported it all, and there's been no assistance, no recovery, no restoration. Every single time they see that it's happening again, they start posting all these photos saying that this is my recovery, this is my rehabilitation, this is my restoration, that they're rebuilding my life like never before. Mind you, I had a 5-bedroom house, 3 kids, and a significant other who I felt love from. That they're going to rebuild my life and restore my life, but
You talk, girl. I think you're becoming
they're
a double
having
angel.
people physically follow me, leave condoms and HIV kits. I swear to God to you guys, Xavier, could you come here real quick?
For a
Are you
documentary.
dressed? Okay. Can you tell the people
Graciela, thank you for the heart.
what happened with the mail?
We already know about that. You got a bunch of Bibles.
Boxes of Bibles. And,
So approximately 5 boxes of Bibles, 5 boxes of HIV testing kits and condoms,
Why even ask Xavier if you're just gonna talk for him?
HIV testing kits. And how many days were those items shipped to the lobby, despite the fact that I would throw them in the trash, and then the next day we'd get back and they'd be there? How many
talk, girl.
times do
Thank
you
you for
think
the
that
girl
happened,
coin.
realistically?
2 months.
4 months. Do you hear me? 4 months. Not 4 months. 4 many months. I would
They
come
changed
home after
everyone's
working
names
an
to
8 to
@.
12-hour fucking
What was
shift
your display
to my
name before?
apartment where I don't even list my legal address on my ID to keep these stalkers away from me. And my fucking lobby to my building would be filled with vile photos of myself crying in the tent, begging for relief, begging for assistance, calendars that someone literally paid money to have printed of me crying and being held in a tent.
Well,
HIV testing kits, Bibles, and condoms, all addressed to GoPro Solo Hobo, Heather Gillespie,
oh no.
Whore G. And do you know what I did to provoke that? Not a goddamn thing. I've literally been here minding my own business, going to visit my child, going to work.
I have to pick between my sobriety and education. Newsflash, homeless people can just not uproot and take off. Not if they're planning to work, go to school, actually do things the right way like I've been doing for 10 years.
At _ Lilo super chatted $9.99. Coco makes my brain hurt trying to understand this nefarious bull poop. Lots of love to you, Steve, and the best chat ever. Heart, white heart, happy Easter hatching chick.
Oh, thank you, Lilo. Thank you for the. Oh, Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany. How's it going?
And coming back home, going to the gym every single morning for the last 4 months.
I might
This
skip
week,
ahead.
They have not let
That'll
me go
be
to the
good.
gym once. Not once. They call it sanctions, under sanctions. I don't know what that is. Hopefully I'll be back in the gym tomorrow morning. But yeah, it's been a whole 5 or 6 days. We went to the gym on Tuesday, right? And I had a good workout.
We can save that
Yeah, the day
blip
that
for Feral Friday.
the day that the new lady came with Zach for the visit. So I had one good workout this week. But I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back into the gym tomorrow morning. We'll see.
I guess we'll see.
But all I'm saying is, don't
Keeping her
fucking
from the
hire
gym.
a social media influencer. Collaborate with a social media influencer, if anything. Don't give people your product in exchange for them to post good things about your product. Just deliver an excellent fucking product to people you know will post about it because they like it and they like you and they want to support you. Stay away from contract deals where you hire influencers to do your marketing. There is no way to measure ROI on most accounts. There's a lot of ways to fake SEO. There's a lot of ways to fake traffic. So just
Search engine
hire
optimiza-
someone
no.
to create an AI
Faking
mascot, if
SEO?
you will. It could be very realistic or it could be more cartoon.
You can't
And
fake
use that
SEO.
person to create all of your ads on the internet for whatever your business is. And yeah, I think that's all that I really wanted to discuss on this one.
Where are you guys going?
So, as you guys can see, they still have not resolved the situation of Botox in this area. So, I only go to Botox specialists that have 4.7 stars and above out of 5 and 100 plus reviews.
This one had 4.6 apparently.
I did not go voluntarily have this done. While I was asleep in my apartment, someone came into my unit, rendered me unconscious and incapable, and literally gave me Botox only on the right side of my head and face. And then you guys can still see the second bludgeon that happened. That's right here. And I've had my lips done twice since the last time I saw you guys. So they Botox and then bludgeoned her? I've been literally working 7 days a week, have bought myself nothing, have the same 8 to 10, maybe 11, maybe 12 pairs of leggings at most. No jeans, no pants, no shirts. I spend my money on maybe a travel perfume and, sustenance for life.
And Botox,
the rest of the money that I earn goes back into my business. I'm a transportation person, so I give people rides, I give food rides, I give items rides, I deliver things, which means that my car payment, my insurance, and my gas are all cost of operating, not profit. So if you figure that I made $60,000 in the last year, but then you also add in that I paid $713 a month as my car note, $384 a month as my insurance.
You don't get to write off your car.
Those two numbers right there are 1090. 1384, 1113. I mean 713. I'm sorry,
Jesus
11.
Christ.
1101. So that's just what I'm paying for my car note and my insurance each month. If you put $30 of gas a day, $20 to $30 of gas a day, for 30 days a month, that's another $600.
Yeah,
What's
try
30 times
writing it all off.
600, right?
See what the IRS says. I don't think you can just write off your whole vehicle. Maybe part of it.
I need about $2,000 a month for operating cost. $2,000 times the year is $24,000. Minus the $60,000 that I made, that's $38,000. I have 4 children and a significant other who doesn't work. So, and besides that, I was being held unlawfully in a tent without housing for the 3 years prior to this, including the duration of my pregnancy. So I had to literally get this apartment with not a goddamn thing and purchase everything myself, from the sofa to the beds to my clothing. I had 1 pair of shoes when we moved in here. I had no clothing. I had absolutely nothing. Everything in here, I worked my ass off to furnish. I went to work every single day. I bought it all. No one helped me with shit. No one gifted me shit. It's all mine. I don't have that much, but what I have is mine. They've broken in, as I said, multiple times. They stole a Bluetooth speaker, a memory foam pillow, some utensils and silverware, and some money, some financial information, about $2,000, along with intercepted my federal income tax return from the IRS for last year,
making $1,100 a week,
$1,700, which I was supposed to be using on
and selling Adderall and ecstasy.
Volkswagen Taos, Taos or Teos.
Allegedly.
It all worked out. I ended up buying my
But she was making roughly $1,100 a week. She showed the receipts.
But I have been doing nothing but working and never splurging. The only money that I've invested into myself, as I said, has been I've gotten Botox 2 times and my lips done twice. So that's less than $1,000 in a whole year of working 7 days a week. Back off.
Back
I
off,
don't
IRS.
feel as though the world as I know it is going to be able to exist for very much longer. As I said, there are so many scams going on. And corporate America, kudos to you guys. You have my vote of approval. It seems like they've been doing a lot to hide or code the things that have been going on. I would assume as to not upset the ordinary people who don't really know about all of this stuff. But that would be a big, large assumption because I don't know why. In my world where I live, where I exist, where I, make all the decisions, people would be made aware of situations like this. Like if there was a huge scam going on, where people were saying that you did something you didn't and causing you to be put under sanctions and, causing you to be put on the fucking kidnap list or on the list of terrorists.
Did she try to kidnap?
Etc. and
Weston?
so forth. Not that I have any experience with all of those things. But if those things were happening, you would assume that in 2026 you would have remedies to them.
She did a post saying ecstasy plug.
Business owners, new business.
She has a script for Adderall.
DM me, and I got you.
But she hasn't filled the script for Adderall.
I am very professional and courteous as much as I am permitted to be.
She was talking about drug dealing.
But I might say something that's offensive. I do my very, very best to be incredibly aware of the way I communicate. I was not always so capable with regards to kind articulation, and I never meant to be mean. I just, would be very busy and stressed out and say things that were not so compassionate and patient. But that's my biggest thing, and I'm not here to discourage anyone from following a career path that they have been creating for themselves, or maybe they want to be an influencer, try to influence. I'm just saying, if you're a business owner and you are making a conversion from brick and mortar to online business, or just starting fresh in the online space, do not create a budget and give it to a person who claims
this is
to be
live
your
right now.
influencer.
I'm only back because
Create
she's
a
live.
budget and give it to someone who is a
was
graphic
like,
designer or
She
an
might
influencer
end
with
up in jail,
graphic
who
design
knows?
background who can build you your own AI agent to be a
Thank you, Sam.
mascot and spokesperson for your brand, product, or service. That is where your money needs to go. And then on ads. All right, you guys, that's about it. I just wanted to give everyone a quick update. I don't even want to get into the rest of the details of everything that's been going on. It's so fucking foul. They asked us in the DCFS office, and this is a direct quote, "Do y'all swing?" And then the next sentence was, what size do we prefer? And this is in a DCFS office in the state of Illinois. And when I voiced my concern and said I was in there with Weston, and then 3 days later they said Xavier couldn't be present for visits anymore. So he has to sit in the lobby. It makes no sense, and it's been really weird. And I've called my lawyer of like 1,000 times, maybe more, and she has not returned a single one of my phone calls, and her text messages are out of character and out of her usual tone. So if we're talking stress levels, mine's are, you have no fucking clue. And then I went to the courthouse 3 times, and on 3 different occasions, they told me that there was no judge, that the state's attorneys don't work there anymore. This is real. Xavier, can you confirm to my audience that just like in 2019, if you guys have been here, since one Heather GEE, since Coco Chanel YSL, if you have been here that whole time, thank you so much. I love you so much. Please confirm that you were watching, and I can link this on my YouTube channel, which is still up. In 2019, 2020, and 2021, when I repeatedly went to the Daly Center and Harrison Courthouse, filing emergency documents and paperwork to see a judge with regards to my ex-husband, Dylan, getting preferential treatment over our shared home, and my children having to go stay with their father, and me being unlawfully detained in a psychiatric ward for a 7-day hold, preventing me from getting a gun license, and thereby resulting in me being raped. I was denied my opportunity to see the judge. I attempted to file 100 police reports all about this. It is 2026, and I have not been able to see a judge for any of that. Still,
the police?
I kept faith in the criminal justice system because they
the
stole
Superior
Weston,
Court or
my son,
something.
at 3 days old. He was born, and they just came in and took him. And I have been in the DCFS system since that time. He's 2 years old, so it's been 2 years. None of my other kids were ever victims of DCFS. Thank God for that, or Satan, or Allah, or whomever you fuck with, work with, believe in, have hopes for.
I've only ever worked for Satan. But in a good way,
I'm not going to talk
not a
about
bad
religion
way.
because that's a whole other thing. God and Satan are the same person. Everything is a spectrum. But let's get back to it.
I don't know about that.
I went to the court 3 times in the last month. Xavier, is that true?
Yes.
Were you there with me?
Yes.
And you witnessed me ask to speak with the judge or get a court date, correct?
Correct.
And you witnessed me follow all of the instructions that they gave me to do in order to get a court date, right?
Yes.
Or wrong?
Right.
And right there in front of the clerk, I called the person she claimed was the person in charge of the judge's schedule, correct?
Yes.
And I've asked every DCFS person and every caseworker and every other third party for assistance with regards to this matter, right?
Maybe don't have your kid taken
So
to
they're
begin
doing
with.
the
Don't have a
exact same
kidnapped
thing
next
that
time.
my sponsors promised me would never fucking happen again. After 2019, 20, and 21, when I could not get in to see a judge to save my life, to save my soul, to save my family, when we were all being in a very, very, very unhealthy, unwelcoming set of circumstances, and I was denied, the sponsors promised that I would never, ever be put in the position to be raped again.
You turned your back on the sponsors.
To be without housing
What
again.
about Cassie?
Or
What
to
about
be
Cassie?
denied any of my rights again. And we're here in 2026, and they are doing the same fucking thing that they got away with corruptly in 2021 and 2020 and 2019, and it's 2026, and they're doing the same shit. How the fuck are you going to have someone ask me, do I swing in a DCFS visit with my 2-year-old son, and then take my husband out of the visits, and then allow me to just be harassed and denied access to my attorney? And we're in the United States of America. So,
United States of Illinois.
Anyways, back to business consulting.
Health correction beyond compare.
Yeah, that's my best advice to you guys. If you're starting a new business, don't fuck around with a budget for influencer marketing. Do your own.
Swim.
And reallocate the budget
Y'all
for
swim.
your influencer marketing to like a team lead or, you know, a new business person, consultant, to kind of help you with the online side of things. And that includes ads, that includes digital content creation, that includes campaigns. I personally think that it's intelligent to campaign. So create ads for, 3 to 6 week intervals, and then switch them up seasonally. You don't even have to make them all the same. Just pick a color for some of them, pick a theme for some of them, pick a holiday for some of them.
I really hope that we get some kind of what?
And just get all of those created, and then put them on a Hootsuite.
Instagram.
Hey, Hootsuite, for anyone who doesn't know, is a social media management app that you can produce your own content and post it to Hootsuite. It will not post to your socials until the date that you've chosen. So you think someone is posting, so you think they're active, that doesn't mean shit. Posts can be being posted in real time. They can also be posted to the future. They could also be posted to a page that you don't know about. They could also be posted with a collaborator. So just because you see someone's name in a tag, or that someone's been active on a social, it doesn't mean that person is okay. It doesn't mean that person is active. It doesn't mean that person is actively posting or, even engaging with the page. And that fame facade, as I like to call it.
Tiffany, the other Tiffany's back too. There's two Tiffany's.
Understand me, I never in my life wanted to be famous. Never, not once. Every fucking hand that I shook, every introduction that I made, every advocacy, meeting and effort that I've ever made in my entire life, that's because I want to make money. And you know why I want to make money? Because I have 4 kids and I've been fucking suffering since I was born, and I don't want that for them or theirs.
I was born dead. Remember that one?
I do not give 2 fucks about what the fuck the rest of you have going on, not at all. I don't want to be famous. But this facade of thing
reality
is
TV
what
show.
New business people are falling into, this evil
social media all the
trap of thinking that that's where their money needs to go. No. Find someone like myself and subcontract that shit. Find a person who's young, who's into social, who is heavy on the personal social, who knows how to PR for their own well-being, and give them the budget and allow them the freedom to sit down with you and say, okay, you've got $10,000 allocated for this first campaign. With that $10,000, this is what we can do, and this is where 1,000 should go, and this is where 4,000 should go, and this is where the remaining, 3,000 should go, or 7,000, or however the fuck, I don't even know what numbers I just said. That is the best move for new
Imaginary
business
numbers.
in 2026, if you ask me. And that's the best advice that I could give you. Do not invest in any single person as an influencer. Invest in them as a behind-the-scenes person, as a
Don't tell the sponsors that, Heather.
As a faceless participant, because people change, their reputations change, their interests change, and you don't want your brand or your service to be tied up in whatever that person may have going on. All right, you guys, have a great evening.
Well, that was something. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I seen her go live, and since I had eaten my spaghetti, I was like, damn it, I should probably snipe this. It could be something crazy. And it's Easter. She's usually crazier on the holidays, because, I don't know, she's narcissistic. She doesn't like people celebrating things that aren't her. So, that was cool. And it was on Sunday, so by the time Friday rolls around, I'll forget that stream probably. And there's that blip in the middle that I forgot we were live, and I paused it, and then I skipped ahead. So we'll get to see what that was about on Friday. That's interesting. Yeah, that I was just sniping her quick. I don't really wanna. I'm not sticking around for too long. You guys think? I'm surprised Xavier didn't come back too much. He didn't OD, so that's good. I thought they were gonna fight or something, or at least say where they were going. They're getting ready to go somewhere. They're probably gonna go out clubbing, and we're gonna see Instagram posts of them at the club. Is the clubs even open on Easter Sunday? I would imagine not, but who knows? I don't know. I've never ran a club or gone to a club on Easter, so I don't have experience with it. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow or maybe tonight if I play video games on members only and you're a member. But happy Easter and toodle-oodles for now, unless another crazy person, if Brooke goes live, I broke out of jail, y'all, I'll go back publicly. So, but I doubt that would happen. So, see you guys later.